Hello, hello. This is Koi from Marie of Gratitude, giving a peace of mind to at least that one person at a time. Tonight, I believe, is the full moon in Pisces, and this is not a pick a card reading, but this is a general reading to just read the energy from my perspective of the full moon. I know Pisces. One thing for sure I can say they are very dreamy. They are very intuitive. They know how to tap into their imagination, sometimes more times than few. And I'm just curious to know what this is about. I definitely know this more than likely is about emotions, um, understanding like the dreams and the insight and the visions that we have been having. And while it's in Virgo, juxtaposed to that, I really feel that if we have pure clarity to these dreams and imaginations and our creativity, all we have to do next is ground them. What I love to do in my coaching, is help other artists and entrepreneurs because we are using our creative energy. And with that creative energy, we have to find ways to ground that and make it our ideas and our imagination, turn that into something tangible, something, in this reality. So I'm going to pull cards. I should do it like this because these are all clarification cards. I just shuffled them and randomly picked them to just not have so much time because I know how I can be when I'm shuffling. Really don't like that. So we're just going to talk about what is illuminated, what needs to come to the surface, shine light on, what needs to be released, and what needs to be transformed, okay? So let's see here. We have the Two of Cups. Let's start like this. Two of Cups, right? So as you can see in this reading, it says, romantic love, partnership, unity, proposal, marriage, all that stuff. It's been a common theme to me that a lot of partnerships are coming into play, and also partnerships of your mind and soul. Like if you're single and you're not even trying to mingle, it's really talking about self-love, embodying your soul, calling your soul memories, calling your soul connecting back to you, because a lot of people are very disconnected and have no idea how to connect, have no idea to listen or hear and sit with their soul to help them understand more experiences. Our soul experiences and feels, and we are so desensitized, right? Yeah, instincts, and then let faith be bigger than your fears. So what's really being illuminated, I'm really feeling, and I'm picking up that we really need to tap into our intuition. This can be instincts or intuition. There is a thin line between instincts and intuition, but your instincts is more of your like human nature, your just ego and just instinctive things, like, just literally, I'm thinking of the word right here, reactions. No, reflex, excuse me. But intuition has more to do with feeling. This is where cups come in because you're trying to feel out your energy, right? You're trying to feel out your needs because, instincts is an instinctive, primal survival mode type of thing that does go off of what your needs are, like your reflexes, like what you really need. But sometimes when you tap into the spirit realm, your soul, your spirit tells you what really needs. And a lot of times we go back and forth thinking that we have control within, any situation, and a lot of times the only thing we really truly can control is our emotions and thoughts. Everything else is like, no, this is destined, this is fated, and blasey blasey. But I really feel like what is really being illuminated right now is to get out of survival mode, because a lot of survival mode causes a lot of fears. And if we step into faith more, stepping into intuition more, stepping into letting spirit um, really lead the way right now, that can bring a lot of unity into a lot of different things that we've been trying to manifest, trying to just bring into our lives, whether it is a person or a place or a thing, let's see what needs to be released. Look, romantic. So this could be having to do with love relationships, right? But the cups, like the Knight of Cups, it talks about like proposal. Like he comes in wholeheartedly and wants to take action. Knights take action, right? But when it's in reverse, it's saying like, disappointments, trickery, all that stuff. Unrealistic, like I was saying, sometimes sometimes Pisces, on the flip side, you are so imaginative and so unrealistic that you are, in the dream realm all the time, that, things are unrealistic and we really need to figure that out. Dad, I was supposed to have my light on. I just realized that. Anywho, um, whatever. We really need to understand what we're doing, though, right? Like how I was saying here in the beginning, coming back to you, if you're not thinking about mingling and all that stuff, it's really talking about like, what part did you play? Because even regardless, in any type of partnership, whether it's, your roommate, whether it's your colleague, your coworker, or your man, your boyfriend, your husband, this is what partnership is about, one and the other, and really trying to mesh and level out the two, because they both come from different aspects. They come from different polarities. And realistically, it takes two to tango. So what part did you play? Because it says first step to change is becoming aware of your bullshit. Whether you played 2% and they played 98%, or you played 50-50, you still need to understand what part you played in. And a lot of times the disappointment comes because you didn't really realize your intentions and what part you played in. Yes, we can be disappointed in someone all the time when we expect something different of them. But when we can expect something of us that we know that we can have control over and not control over other people, then we won't be that disappointed. So we really need to release those feelings around partnerships and be more realistic here. Be more letting go of fears, because a lot of when we let fear control our actions, you'll get disappointed every time. Every time. But when you can bring in love and understanding and compassion and camaraderie, that wins. And we're putting things dead to this. Like, we're creating something new here. As soon as you can be aware of your bullshit, gives you the opportunity to have a choice, to take the responsibility to do something new. Take the responsibility to want that change. But you won't have that responsibility, or you won't take that time unless you put things to rest and see things for what they really are. So let's see here how we're going to transform this stuff. by master. I see. So it's all about putting things into motion, and it's about repetition, because for one, everything doesn't happen overnight. Your instincts may be on point, right? Your intuition may be on point, but lo and behold, it still has cycles. If you can see here in this, there's a moon, but there's also other small moons, because it's showing the cycle of the way of the world. Like, this is why I like the moon in general, the full moon, going to the new moon. It cycles. It always is. The sun rises when the moon sets, and the moon rises when the sun sets. It's just how things are, right? And when we can tap into our instinctive nature and push fear aside, then things become more of a natural flow. But when fear comes in, that just messes up the flow totally, and then you start getting disappointed. Then you start getting your hopes all high and come crashing down. And then it feels like, like, woe is me, that you weren't ready for things to end. But when you can have acceptance to understanding that, hey, all things will come to an end, then it's fine. If we're speaking about a relationship, right? Sometimes with relationships, we think that everything is going to last forever. And you may have the best relationship, but it's still going to be renewed. It's still going to go through cycles. So there is still going to be deaths within your relationship of old energy that no longer serves you and the other person, if you are in sync, right? And sometimes people aren't in sync, and sometimes sometimes people, grow at a faster pace, and that's what really sets fear in, and that's what also just makes you feel like you need to start doing things, right? And you become disappointed because, again, like I was saying in the beginning of the readings, if we let spirit lead the way, that is what will really allow us to understand that there are other things, other energies, other occurrences that are just out of our control. And if we allow faith to roll bigger than the fear, then we can flow with that better. When fear comes, it always comes in crashing and clawing and doing all types of stuff. And it does keep us despondent. It closes down this crown chakra here. Like, can you see right here? It closes down the crown chakra and really closes the flow of things. Like, look at her face. Disappointed as hell because she's not really tapping into the nature of how things are really working, and it looks kind of like, oh, I want my way. Well, no, bitch, I'm bigger than you and bigger things are happening. You know what I'm saying? Like that sometimes can happen. And when you feel that you are trying to strive for perfection, you get disappointed because you know what? Perfection is already in nature. Strive for progress. Understand that each small thing can amount to something bigger. We don't have to and that's the way of working when you're trying to ground things into your reality as well. When you're trying to focus on bigger changes, you can't just go from crawling to flying a jet. Like, it just doesn't work. You have to walk first. You got to run first. You got to read first. You got to take tests, go through certain processes and experiences so you can be a good jet flyer. You know what I'm saying? Strive for progress. Strive for those increments and understand that with your passion, um, definitely let your passion lead the way, but don't let it make you despondent to understanding that, everything has a natural order, and some things you just cannot control. Some things are really left in through faith to find that divine timing, divine essence of what things are. So I want to close off this reading and see something, get a soul message here. Because right now, I feel like we've all been working on some things. We've all been basically the past 6 months understanding things have been out of our control and really working on accepting the fact that we have no control over a lot of changes that are being happened, and we need to understand, like, what is our part in this? Because 9 times out of 10, a lot of our part is what's fear is really holding us back. Like, people can look like at this and be like, well, yeah, I got an attitude because X, Y, Z and all these things are happening to me and this and that. But look at it like this. It's human nature to be fearful of the unknown. And you may have an attitude because you don't know how to change it. And some people sit and some people take flight. And sometimes one or the other works best for them. But, if you can sit still and hear and receive and be open, that will definitely change. And then you can take those actions and forward increments to move forward and progress further, right? So let's see what soul message we have to wrap this up. Have I not been recording this whole time, or I don't know. Whatever, because it really looks like my thing is not recording. All right. Well, this one keeps popping out for me, but let's see. This is a general reading. This ain't about me, okay? So we have here empathetic starseed. Like I was saying, we really are having to look at ourselves in the mirror, because we may be, no, not we may be, we are the keys to our change in the first place. And the sooner we look at ourselves in the mirror and take ownership to what we are doing, like I said, no matter how small or big we're adding to the problem, look at it, see it for what it is, accept it, and find ways to change and grow out of that situation. Let me read this thing here in this book. Shout out to my star seeds and people that know what star seeds are. I'm not going to get into that though, because that's for another time. So, empathic starseeds are here to shift the world through their physical presence alone. They don't need to do anything beyond being here, thanks to the energetic change their physical presence causes. Due to their highly sensitive nature, empathic starseeds can struggle with being on Earth and in a physical body. Many are prone to addictions, depression, or tend to mistake other people's feelings and moods for their own. Natural inverts, they tend to prefer spending time alone or in small groups. Crowds can be overwhelming to them. If this card appears, consider lightening the load energetically. Don't put yourself off under so much pressure to go out into the world. Be gentle with yourself. Allow extra time and care to recover energetically. If you're feeling pressured to keep up a certain pace, instead put on the brakes and treat yourself like a precious baby. Do whatever you can to take the pressure of the world off your plates. Switch off to switch back on. I like that, switch off to switch back on. In today's world, it's normal to feel that we should be doing more, but perhaps being present in our life is enough. This could be a phase you're going through or simply how you're being called to live your life. If your work involves giving to others right now, you're being called to keep something for yourself. Keep some time for yourself, right? You don't need to transmute it at all. It's okay. You could look at it after its own growth and healing before feeling you should offer it to the world. Indeed, it's necessary if you want to continue to do so sustainably. How do you take better care of your own energy? So this kind of, I don't know, in a bit contrary of what I was saying, but I think also to transmute it let me tap into this. Being despondent to what is being like all the things around you can be helpful, right? Like, picture these flowers as distractions, even though flowers in nature, can't really be a distraction, but picture that as being something, tune off to turn back on, right? Take out time out for yourself and be despondent to all the distractions within the world so you can really master your craft and your passion and your energy, understanding your energy, because you're not going to understand it by looking at Tom, Dick, and Harry. You're going to understand it by looking at yourself in the mirror, looking at things that have caused you to drain your energy. And like I said here, we're releasing old chapters. We're putting things to a rest. Anything that does not serve you, you must understand and really look at yourself in the mirror and call yourself on your bullshit, because that's the best and easiest way to change. The more you dishonor and the more that you don't look at your faults, the more that you don't really see what part you're playing in to any problems, it's going to carry out very long, and it's not going to be pretty either. And it's going to cause a lot of fear and confusion. So if you have more faith in your spirit, you know that you'll be guided to the truth anyway and see things from a crystal clear point of view. So I hope this reading really resonates with you and really just helps you tap into what is it that you need to do for your own energy to really cleanse it and give it some rest and some special self-care, some special TLC. What is it that you need to do? So without all that said, I just wanted to say that message. Look out for more. I am doing free. I've been taking some time out to do some free mini readings, general readings on Monday on my IG page. I like to call Tea and Tarot. The description, the link for my Instagram is in the description below. And you can also win a free personal reading if you tune into my Instagram. So check that out every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And also check out my new services and my new site, what's going on. I have new products as well that really help you tune into your own energy and give that extra self-care that you need in this busy world that we're in right now. Until next time, I'm outie. Peace.